On August 14, 2019, No Man's Sky Beyond got released. And honestly, it's really getting better and better. Let's see, where to start? I suppose I should start with the simple disclaimer of I don't play No Man's Sky that often. I pick up and play it from time to time. But I've been following the development of this game for... since the launch, I'd say, yeah. I still remember when I played it on the launch week. It was interesting, let's just say so, as I shot the blue space resource penises on planet surfaces, or whatever you call them. Still, the thing is, even though I may not remember all the changes, there are a few things that I'll discuss today that I just honestly did not expect any developer to really go back and fix or improve. So let's then begin with a little bit of the patch note reading, shall we? The two biggest changes, depending on whom you ask this, is the improvement in the multiplayer amount, also placement of the Nexus area, and the VR. Now, TheYamiks not having the privileged goggles won't be able to really talk about the VR experience, so yeah, today is about first impressions rather about that, not the in-depth. So let's get into the things that I enjoyed. So then, as I launched the game, I noticed, well, about the same things all over the place. A little bit of difference in the visuals, maybe because they changed a couple of things in the settings, which actually is a good first thing that I noticed. Now, of course, key binding is still shit, let's just be honest. But the graphical options changes and overall layout in general would be better, I'd say. And yet there are still many things that must be included for a proper PC title. And I'll keep banging on about that. The thing that I personally don't really understand is why the motion blur by default is cranked up to the maximum. It's disgusting. So safe to say that was the first thing that I turned down. Now, once that was done, the first thing that I noticed, functionally at least, was the jetpacks. See, back in the previous versions of No Man's Sky, whenever you pressed space and started using the jetpack and just flew away, you always got that first jolt as you lifted off the ground. Now, there is still that jolt, yes, but that jolt and amount of, continued upwards movement is actually more realistic. It feels like actually you are using the jetpack rather than having a sudden launch pad and then a slow incline until the jetpack fuel ends. I don't know, for me it kinda always felt like the jetpack was broken in some ways because of that. Or wasn't coded properly, and lo and behold, they improved it. So among all the big things that they presented, honestly that was the thing that I was more happy about. And that didn't end there. Oh, and I actually noticed, and yes, this was a change in the previous versions, one of them, I don't remember which one, but still, weapons now actually work as weapons should, rather than inheriting your movement. So when you'd be strafing, the weapon would inherit the projectile speed on one of the sides, whichever one you use. So that was stupid. Now, weapons work as proper weapons in normal FPS games. Oh, and it even gets better, though I'm not particularly fan of this change because it was more of an exploit, but whatever. Now, heating mechanic actually works as intended, but it used to be that it didn't, and wouldn't really exactly represent the exact amount of heat generated by the weapon, because once it goes to the 100%, it can still mine a little bit before overheating or getting that cooldown requirement. And also, once your mining tool near the maximum heat level, you could just simply do a melee strike and it would automatically drop to 0 heat, and it was slightly faster than waiting for a cooldown to reset it. And while, yeah, sure, spaceships get extra fleshing out, like model improvements, the graphical changes, and all that wonderful stuff that everyone enjoys, but the thing is, I personally enjoyed the fact that they actually wanted to go back and fix the foundation, the base mechanics of things. I really appreciate that, and guess what? It's the thing that I'm talking about right now. And sure, I enjoy new features like everyone else, but the thing that I often like to see from many games is that they actually go back, developers choose to go and change the foundation for the betterment of the future installments, or just the plain old quality of life improvements that actually make a massive difference on how the game is played. And this is partly, for me, one of those cases. Both the good features and fixing the foundation. And because of these new features, as well as the fixing of foundation, I just want to go out and see what else they have either fixed or improved. No Man's Sky really at this point kinda resembles how Warframe got just better and better over time. And while I wouldn't say it's the same, there are similarities. Oh, but there is one thing that I already don't like, and that's the dialogue. It's not skippable. I fucking hate reading in games, especially in something as interactive and something as bright and colorful as this. Just hearing those NPCs just quack, 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 and have to read the text. Also, now, wait for the text because you can't skip it. It just gets frustrating, let's just be honest. But speaking of frustration, the probably biggest frustration for me, the Sentinels. See, in the old versions of No Man's Sky, whenever you were on a planet with whatever type of a security of Sentinel activity or what the else, whenever you started mining something, immediately a Sentinel gets spawned behind you and it goes and investigates the thingamajig, preventing you from actually doing things. Essentially, Sentinels are annoyances, I understand that, but the thing is, the level of annoyance was too great. Now, it has been fixed so much that even on the high activity planets, they are just rare. And I love it! I really love it! It just gets better, damn it! So, safe to say, this whole update was actually a really good change. And not for the VR, and not for the changes on visuals, not for the big new features. For me, it's just going back to foundations and fixing them, and improving them. Really, what else can I say? I enjoy seeing that, so thank you. And of course, because of this, I'm actually recommending this game. If you see it on a sale or something, go for it. It definitely is worth it, for sure now. And hey, if you're an avid viewer of mine, you may be surprised as to why I'm so positive all of a sudden. Well, guess what? I see the effort put in the game. I see the effort put in the updates. Even the small little things. And when I see an artist, a creator trying to do their best, I applaud it, and lo and behold, that's the case here. So well done, Hello Games. But what about you guys? Have you tried the new update, and what are the things that perhaps stand out to you? Let me know down below, and of course, always share the video and all that wonderful stuff. And I'll see you then, I guess, riding some space milkable cows or something. Yeah, that's the thing that we want to do.